find that conflict. That's where I'm running to the next back on pulse, ready to hit back in tech world. Here is our next story. Now, we talked about Apple, we talked about Siri, not today, but we talked about it in the past, and Apple really needs to do something with Siri, make Siri more, more guys, like just a virtual assistant you can talk to regularly. Well, if they don't hurry up, they might lose that share, because a new challenger to Siri is coming, and it's coming from, guess where? Spain. Spain has they have a what do you call that? Virtual assistant type technology. They're calling it Sherpa, and Spain. A lot of things came from Spain.
These guys are good designers, but they don't know good names.
Sherpa. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, Enrique Iglesias, came from Spain, so, I mean, hey.
So everybody in Spain can sing.
So they said that they are shipping, or not shipping, but it's coming to the Google Play Store for Android devices. They said Sherpa is a virtual assistant app that combines Siri and Google. Not real Siri, but it puts Siri like app in Google. And they said it was designed to predict and anticipate the user's need. They say it's available in the Google Play Store for Android and smartphone tablets. They said the free application, this is a free app now, so they haven't right now, I don't know if it's going to work on gingerbread, or the ice cream sandwich, but they said that the free application answers questions, it plays music from the cloud, finds local restaurants, retailers, offers sports scores, provides weather forecasts, makes phone calls, schedule appointments, posts social networks, and even transfer money from your account via PayPal. You know what I'm saying?
That's the problem. Everything was good until the transfer out. It was only transfer money in.
Yeah, no, when we transfer money into But many people are thinking the same, like, that's the catch. It's going to be siphoning money out of my account. But no, because this is the app, and you don't have to hook it up to PayPal. But the point is, this is what a true virtual assistant. Matter of fact, you got a real assistant. This is what a assistant do. You say, hey, can you transfer some money from one of my accounts if it's a trusted assistant? This Sherpa, they're coming out of Spain. They said Sherpa Beta Virtual Assistant has an average of 4.5 star rating, and a lot of the people in Spain, they wrote the comment excelente. You know what I'm saying? When they refer to Sherpa. The app it first hit Europe in October, and as the first Spanish language voice assistant, it generated, or it caused 125,000 downloads in less than a month. That's how many times this app was downloaded in less than a month once it hit Europe. It's been 15 days of a lot of hard work, one of the people said at Sherpa, and we know that we still have much to do. You see, I can only thank all of those who have installed the app and have shared with us your comments and suggestions. Thanks to them, we are building a virtual assistant that we all want. Now, Google uses, Sherpa uses Google Speech API to translate commands into a kind of meta language that the team developed, which, according to the publication GigaOM, encompasses 250,000 semantic concepts kept in order by 5,000 rules. As the company partners with more and more sources, it's already snagged deals with PayPal, Twitter, Facebook, I think LinkedIn, even Wikipedia. The people who created Sherpa have deals with all these people. And so therefore, that's how Sherpa is able to get all this information, answer questions, find locations, talk to you. If you have a PayPal account and you want to transfer some money here, or you want to buy something, you just tell Sherpa to do it. You know what I'm saying? But Sherpa is entering an already populated space. I mean, aside from Apple and Google's built-in features, because remember, Google also has a Siri app in their Play Store, and of course we know Siri, for Apple. But if it can do these things seamlessly, see, that's the key, because it's not just about being able to come up with a copycat, and like we here like to term it here on Tech Pulse, we like to say a Me Too app. If it is not just about coming out with a Me Too app, well, I have a virtual assistant too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that might be great, but can it do anything better than Siri gives? Can it do anything better than Google? The Google app can do it. And from what people are saying in Spain, that 4 out of 5 star rating, that's no joke. When you're talking about an app that many people are going to use, most virtual assistants powered by natural language processing are taught to do specific tasks very well, but tend to come up short when given unfamiliar assignments. For instance, when you talk about Siri, Siri excels at jobs like making a calendar appointment or dictating text messages, but it can be confused by more general requests for information. Usually, all it does when you give more general stuff. I mean, if you say Siri, mark November 5th as the date, Siri will understand that and mark November 5th mark. Or you say, Siri, are there any restaurants near here? You'll find many restaurants near here. But when you start asking general questions like, Siri, how many Thai restaurants exist in Florida? You just ask that. Then a web result will come up. You know what I'm saying? I found these web results for you. I'm asking for the result. I'm asking you are supposed to calculate that. You look at the web and then tell me what's happening. Siri, how much money can I make if I do this? And then just a simple web result will come up. Siri doesn't always understand everything. But with Sherpa, because of the way they structured it, you can really, the difference between Sherpa and Siri is that supposedly Sherpa is supposed to be able, when given unfamiliar things that are not standard, like find a calendar app or find this specific thing, it's supposed to be able to really excel in that way. And one of the Sherpa CEOs said he set out to create a natural language platform that had a much greater scope of understanding, which could easily be applied to new tasks without training the app to perform them. Like having to do it constantly, and finally the app would learn enough with the algorithm, a learning algorithm into apps like Siri and so forth. And that's why they say the more you use it, the better. People just didn't have the time for that. He said that he also wanted to create a language-independent platform, one that understood meaning and intent, independent of the language vocabulary or syntax. In other words, when you say something like Devin just was talking about when he said that everything was good up until you said transfer money out. It's only supposed to transfer money in. We make those jokes, and we understand as humans. We understand what he's talking about, but the virtual assistant like Siri wouldn't understand that. It wouldn't understand that you're joking, and so it was like, okay, I will only transfer money in. It's like, no, I was just joking. I didn't mean that. And he's saying that Sherpa, what he was trying to do with it, that doesn't mean he achieved it. What he was trying to do is that he wanted an app that could understand the meaning, the intent of what you were trying to say, not just the word. And that's why they said, based on that, they developed, they created the machine language that could develop a sort of meta language and encompass 250,000 semantic concepts accompanied by 5,000 rules. used in all of those concepts. They say that Sherpa uses off-the-shelf speech recognition services right now. It's using Google's speech API to translate commands into its meta language, and then it tries to understand the meaning and intent, resulting in a string of concepts. The result is basically what they're saying. The result based on that is a flexible virtual assistant that easily be applied to new tasks. And the CEO said that Sherpa's repartee is consistently growing as it looks for new apps and information sources. For instance, Sherpa has struck a deal, you know what I'm saying? They struck a deal with PayPal, allowing the app to make payments via voice command. It taps into Twitter's API, letting users navigate their Twitter feeds just by talking and telling it to do. It toggles between menus, direct messages, home stream views through voice prompts for general information requests. Sherpa has developed a nifty information card format which aggregates information from a variety of sources ranging from like LinkedIn profiles or Wikipedia or anything like that. And in many cases, this thing, if it's working properly, and we're going to show you a video of how Sherpa is supposed to work. They're saying that in many cases this thing is beyond Siri, and given the flexibility of its technology, Sherpa can continue to add new services and functions at a much quicker rate than the Google app or Siri itself, unless Apple is coming up with something right now that can knock Sherpa off the bandwagon, you know. And even though Sherpa is entering a crowded space, I mean, there's a lot of virtual assistant apps around, you know, most notably being Siri, you know, the most popular, and then also Google's Play app. But let me go ahead and show you, because right off the bat, you're saying, man, this guy is, you know, he's just talking. He's just saying stuff and talking, and, you know, I don't really see where this app is going to be as fantastic as he's talking. But let me just show you the story here real quick, because I mean, this, to me, these are the type of things that, you know, get me excited in the tech world. When you realize that you have these virtual assistant apps that inspire competition, and, you know, Apple, they come up with Siri, they didn't really have a lot of competition, so maybe they didn't put the effort into it that really they should. Then Google came out with one, and now Spain, a 4.5 rating from the users that have reviewed it out of 5. I mean, that's an excellent rating, you know. And with the ability that Sherpa has to learn and to grow, I mean, this could be what we wanted Siri to be. I mean, what the commercials that Apple was throwing around, this is what they were throwing around when they talked about Siri. They were throwing around these, you know, Siri, do this, and Siri, do that, and, you know, it was just, you know, on the commercial, it was automatic. But in real life, it was like, no, it's not doing that like I wanted to. So let me go ahead and show you guys this commercial, not commercial, but, you know, this little demonstration they put together on in this short video. And look at what, and listen to what Sherpa is supposed to be able to do. I mean, this is pretty cool. I mean, you know, all these new techs that they're coming out with that we've seen so far is pretty good. Now, just listen to this and see what you guys think.
Who's Obama?
I'll show you what I know about Barack Obama.
I'm hungry.
I'll show you the closest restaurant.
Play a Mozart song.
I will play this song, A Little Night Music.
Write down that I have a haircut on Tuesday at 5 p.m.
Okay, here you have the details of the appointment.
Do I have to take an umbrella tomorrow?
I will show you the forecast in San Francisco.
Turn up the volume.
Volume is turned up.
Set the phone to mute.
Phone is on silent mode.
Post on Facebook that I'm going on vacation.
Is this what you want to post on your Facebook wall?
I want to send 200 euros to Harry's account on PayPal.
I will show you a summary of the PayPal transfer. Remember, this operation is subject to the policies of PayPal.
How did the Lakers do on Friday?
Last Friday, Lakers beat Golden State Warriors by 118 to 116.
Take me to my next meeting.
I will take you to the meeting written in your agenda. Make sure it is correct.
It's out in the Google Play Store now. That's what they're saying. Free app. But I don't know if it's for gingerbread. Ice cream standards are higher. Go Sherpy. See? So, I mean, you might say, well, it's just a bunch of, common responses. But as you can see, it's a little more natural than you had to do for Siri. With Siri, you didn't say, I'm hungry. You had to say, Siri, where is the restaurants around here? Siri's not, you tell Siri, I'm hungry, she's going to say, I don't understand. The library is, yeah, exactly. You see, but with Sherpa, you can say things like, I'm hungry, and Sherpa understands that must mean you want food. So let me show you the restaurants around you. It's that sort of thinking that Sherpa brings to the table that Siri at this moment, now maybe for iPhone 5S, who knows, but at this moment Siri doesn't do that. Siri doesn't give you that. I mean, you have to say specific, and this is what they're talking about when they say that outside of specific commands, Siri falls short. If you say, Siri, set me an appointment for 10 a.m., appointment for 10 a.m., she can do stuff like that. But if you say, Siri, I'm tired, you're on the road, Siri, I'm tired, I do not understand, or here's some web results for being tired, or something like that. That's what I meant. I meant I'm tired, so I'm on the road. Sherpa will know your road and say, here is the closest, here is the hotel on your route, or something like that. It's helpful, So this is the technology that's saying is available for Android smartphones and tablets in the Google Play Store, and this virtual assistant took Europe by storm, getting 125,000 downloads in less than a month is what this is. So, and with an average of 4.5 rating, with all of those downloads, an average of 4.5 rating still for the people that have rated it. If you have a Google, an Android tablet or device with a microphone on it, obviously, and you want to try this thing out, I would say go to the Google Play Store. It's free. Go download it. I mean, it can't hurt. In my opinion, this can't hurt. And this, to me, is what technology is about, man. This is what technology is all about. Being able to take something and improve on it is never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. So for people who like that sort of thing, and I mean, virtual assistant is a good thing, and if you can get it to work properly, obviously, then this is something that I think all of us really want. Now, speaking of, what? You can't find the app?
Yeah.
Kevin is like, I'm looking for this app and I can't find it, But they say that thing is out now. That's what they're saying,
Sherping or
Sherpa, 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 PA, yeah. Kevin is
Herpa.
Sherpa.
I'm ready to shut the show down. So
yeah, it's trying to Sherpa. Yep, that's they said arrived in the Google Play Store. Oh, you found it?
Found it.
Someone has found it. Now you're gonna see it can download his gingerbread phone right here on Tech Pulse, and we will keep you posted as to what's happening. You know, because I mean, with an app like that, free, hey, you can't go wrong. You see? Now, one of the other stories, Devin is now with Sherper, because he's like, man, this thing is pretty good. TomTom. Many of you know TomTom. None of us know TomTom as a GPS.
It's compatible.
It's compatible with gingerbread. It is compatible. We have confirmed Sherper is compatible with gingerbread. Installing now. Devin is now installing Sherper at this moment. We're right here on Tech Pulse. You see, we found this bit of information. Devin is now loading this revolutionary app. Open. The app is opening right here live. Okay, Devin, can you explain? Give us play-by-play. What's happening right now? What's going on with this Sherpa app?
It needs email address, which is
okay. So when you download it, what are people? What can they? How is the process going so far? You download it.
Yeah, it's very the typical application download process: install,
right,
open, and then it asks your email address.
Okay,
So
you're punching that in.
My Google email address.
Okay, so Devin is trying to figure out his Google email address. We're going to keep you posted on this blow by blow as Devin is setting up this. He's registering the Sherpa app and getting everything set up to see if this thing really worked the way that it's got a 4.5 rating, downloaded 125,000 times in less than a month once it hit Europe. So we're going to see if this thing is really as it says it is right here on Tech Pulse. And while Devin is doing that, our next story is talking about TomTom. Now, like I say, many of you know TomTom as a GPS system and whatnot. Well, TomTom is now in the watch business. TomTom sports watch range announced. It's called the TomTom Runner. You see? Now, if you're in the market for a GPS fitness watch, yeah, you may be interested in this TomTom watch. They said that the TomTom Sport Watch has been created completely by TomTom and is now a part of their own brand, offering runners and cyclists, swimmers, stuff like that, a new choice of GPS sport watch. Now, the display is obviously, not obviously, but the display is a black and white display. The sport watch is available in two models at the moment. The ultra thin TomTom Runner and the TomTom Multi-Sport GPS watch, which are fitted with extra large display, full screen, graphical training tools, and the industry's first one-button control system. That's what they're saying. And according to the managing director of TomTom Consumer, they said that we know that most GPS watches on the market are too bulky and too complicated to use while training. Just as we develop easy-to-use navigation products that change the way that people get from point A to point B, we have developed a range of ultra-slim GPS sport watches that are far more comfortable to wear and easier to use. Runners and multi-sport athletes can now view their performance information at a glance, making it easier to achieve their fitness goals. Now, unfortunately, no information on pricing has been released from TomTom, but they will be available for purchase sometime during the summer months, TomTom said. So let me go ahead and show this to you that maybe you're fit. I mean, hey, just because we're tech geeks doesn't mean that we got to be out of shape, And TomTom giving us this sport watch that gives us the ability not only to know where we are, because it has that GPS on it, and I'll show you that right now. It has that GPS on it, but at the same time, it allows us to be able to, there it is, there's the two watches, and as you can see right here, this is the fifth one. This is the one that's GPS enabled. It's showing you your location, showing you where you're going and stuff like that. Black and white, obviously, and that, helps because with color really needs to be backlit to really take advantage of the color. and but this right now is black and white, which helps to save the battery, give it a longer battery life. And wait, we're looking right there. Devin seems to be excited, so we're going to go back to Devin real quick, and we're going to find out exactly. So Devin, what's the update on the Sherpa? What's going on?
Okay, so I'm going through the process now. You have to set up an account.
Okay.
When you download it, and then it goes through a series of tests.
Oh, okay.
You know, to
calibrate it,
to learn your voice.
Right.
So, who is Obama? And then the writing, the stuff is kind of small.
So it's not really that legible.
Yeah, it's quite small. I'm trying to see if there's a better. Wow. Yeah, so that's one thing they probably
could increase on.
Improve on is tap and talk. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do a live demonstration right here.
Tap and talk. Is this? And let me show you how.
Okay, so we're going to see a live situation right here, folks, on Tech Pulse.
All right, first I'm going to show it. Let's see if it's too close on it.
Okay,
now it's kind of. Can you see? I can't see, right?
No, I can see your hand. I can't see what's on the screen. I see green and white.
All right, we'll bring it over to you and then you can.
Okay, so we have it says tap to talk using the microphone button. Hello, Frank. I'm happy to see you. That's what it says at the top. But that's it. They say, or just write what you want. So you can also write it as well as tap. So if I tap here.
See, I'm wondering if that's just.
That's just to show you what to do.
You what you're going to do. So.
Okay, say who is Obama. Or tell. Okay, so I think what this is that it's
a setup.
It's a setup.
It's
telling you
what the setup.
Right. It's not doing it yet. Okay. So
let me go through the setup then.
Right.
And then we can come back.
Okay, so Devin is going to go through the setup process right here on Tech Pulse. It's and we're going to see how well Sherpa works. Now, this has been given, like I just said, a 4.5 rating. So we're going to see if that rating holds up. This thing has been downloaded 100, well, more than that, but in its first release month in Europe, over 125,000 downloads. So we're assuming that something doesn't get that kind of download if it's just, a junk app. So we're going to tell you and we're going to see right now. But let's get back to, while Devin is doing that, we're going to get back to our Tom situation right here. Now, you see these are the different watches. So if you're in the market for a sport watch GPS, something that's going to be comfortable, something that you can wear, something that you can feel comfortable in, and this is what you want. You want something like this. Now, do I believe that this right now is a real breakthrough? Depending on price, I think that's really what's going to determine in my book whether this is successful or not. I mean, the price of it would have to be right, because if the price isn't right, then I don't see a lot of people buying it because, I mean, your phone has GPS on it. Now if you're in the fitness world, carrying a phone around, especially if you have jogging pants or, your bikers, you have on those tight suits, it's tough to carry around all of that gear and especially navigate it while you're doing your exercise or doing different things. So a sports watch that is and that's why I say when it comes to wearable computing, a watch really is what makes the most sense, because, we're used to having a watch, even though some people like me don't wear watches and whatnot, but your wrist is not an intrusive place. I don't use my wrist for anything as far as activities. So having a watch on, is the least intrusive place that you can have, I would say, a electronic device, unless you have it around your neck. But even then, you have something around your neck, you bend down, it could be in the way of whatever you're doing or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see if TomTom can really come out with a good price for this watch, I mean, if they can make it affordable meaning like in my opinion, between $40 and $60, if this watch could come out a price like that, I think they can have a relative market. I don't think it might explode or anything, but I think they can have a relative market. If if this thing is going to come out, at $150, $200, then no. I don't see this being able to really be something that people are going to say, oh yeah, I want that, So we're just going to have to wait and see what TomTom does. Right now there's no release date, but no pricing. It's supposed to come out in the summer months. But we're going to see what happens with this sport watch, and report to you as things happen. Now, one of the things that another story that we want to talk about is Yahoo. According to a report by MarketWatch, first of all, for those of you that don't know, Yahoo really wasn't doing very well. Yahoo was really a mess. The company had lost direction. They really hadn't had anything, and they hired Marissa Mayer, a CEO. She used to work for Google, and Yahoo hired her as their CEO. And prior to that point, Yahoo had so many CEOs come through the door. It was like a revolving door. The last CEO that they had before Marissa Mayer was under investigation for lying on his resume. Apparently he was saying he went to school or he had degrees he didn't have, and so Yahoo had to let him go. And then people were saying, what is this company doing? Where did they find these guys? I mean, why would you lie? If you're a CEO, you don't need to lie because you've already achieved a certain level of, people know you as a CEO, so why would you lie? That was one of the questions that was going around the tech world. Why would this guy lie on his resume to get a job as a CEO? Those jobs you don't apply in the paper for those kinds of jobs. So if someone is hiring as a CEO, clearly you should have some kind of reputation already, But this guy lied on, and then when he stepped down, he was citing health reasons, for stepping down, but it was only a matter of time. That scandal was just going to wash him away anyway. So then they hired Marissa Mayer, right from Google. She came from Google, and she has taken a lot of flack. If a lot of you know, earlier this year, I would say I think in January or early February, she released a memo to all employees at Yahoo. Now, as you know, many companies have, how do you put it? Many companies have, and I'm sure Devin, in working in the investment bank, you had many employees under you or people that didn't necessarily have to come into the office every day. They could work remotely. They could work from home and so forth. So Marissa Mayer, in one of the first things she did, or she said she needed to do, was to pump up employee morale. That was one of the first things that she did when she got there, because people were afraid of losing their jobs. Yahoo was in shambles. Everyone was saying the company was going to go out, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't know what was going to happen. She came in. She started doing things first to boost company morale, and then earlier this year, one of the things she said is that the work from home, the people that work from home and all that type of stuff was no more. She said everyone by June 1st would have to start reporting work. They would have to start coming into the office. Flack for that. People said, so moms, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's wrong, you shouldn't do that. But she didn't defend her stance. She was saying, who is she? So I understand why I'm up an arm. I'm the CEO of a company. They're asking me to clean up. So I have to do what I feel is best for the company.
She thought some of the issues with Yahoo had to do with
people maybe not working.
Slacking off.
Yeah, people slacking off. So she decided, all hands on deck, everyone come in. So rather than just say, you're fired, she's bringing I think it was a ploy so she can weed out the unproductive few that may have been taking their leave and working from home, their distance work relationship, and maybe they weren't working, and that was part of Yahoo's problem, because Yahoo was hemorrhaging money, you see. And when you bring a CEO in to clean it up, you got to expect that she's going to do certain things. So she took a lot of flack for it, but you see, even though, according to a report by Market Watch, they said Yahoo profits have risen, but their revenue has fallen. They say shares of Yahoo Inc. On Tuesday fell sharply in late trading after a web portal reported a gain in profit, but posted a decline in sales, missing the Wall Street estimates. Yahoo was down 4.5% in after-hours trading. A key factor was its dismal display ad revenue. They were saying the company reported a first quarter profit of $390.9 million, or 35 cents a share, compared to a profit of $286 million, or 23 cents a share, the year prior. So Marissa Mayer hasn't even been there a year. She hasn't even been there a year, but already revenue is up. And for a company that's that big, to turn it around is not, I mean, it's like staring a huge ocean liner. You can't turn immediately. There are no sharp turns with a gigantic ocean liner. The turns have to be done gradually because the ship is so huge. You see, so Yahoo is one of those things, and right away you see that revenue, the first quarter profits are up over $100 million, and they say revenue excluding traffic acquisition costs was $1.07 billion compared to $1.08 billion in the same period last year. An adjusted profit was 38 cents a share. Analysis poll said on average they were expecting a profit of 25 cents a share on a revenue of $1.1 billion. So we see that she wasn't that far off at $1.07 billion, not that far off, and the first quarter profits were up over $100 million. So say what you want to say, you know what I'm saying? But it seems that Marissa Mayer is on the right track, you know what I'm saying? Because anytime you have revenues going up, however slowly, but going up, that's a good thing. You want your revenues to increase, and it looks like, in a statement by Marissa Mayer, she said, "We saw continued stability in our business, strengthened our team, and started the year with fast execution against our product and partnership." You know, but analysis quickly pointed out problems in Yahoo's core display business. Adjusted revenues for that business totaled $402 million, down 11% a year ago. And Gills said Wall Street consensus estimate was for a revenue of about $432 million. So we see that even though Myers is doing a good job, in my opinion, you know, because she has taken that, she is really doing things just like what she did with Sumley, where she bought Sumley for $30 million. I mean, brands like, you know, their products like Flickr and things like that Yahoo has, and now Sumley, and Yahoo also bought what's the Daily Motion, you know, that video service. So you see, Yahoo is doing a lot of different things to try and get their market share up, try and get their product list up to snuff, so up to par with some of the others like Google and so forth. And these are acquisitions that Yahoo just wasn't making a year ago, 2 years ago. They weren't thinking to do these things. I mean, a company like Sumley, Google probably would have bought it, you know, but Yahoo jumped on that because they saw the value in what Sumley was offering. And so even though Yahoo is in a position where their profits rise, but their revenue has fallen. In other words, the money they're bringing in is not as much as it was a year ago. However, the money they're making has risen, and that's really the bottom line. In other words, if I'm getting paid less at my job, right? Let's say I used to get paid $10 an hour, you know, and I saved, I was able to save a month $200. And now I'm getting paid $9 an hour. But somehow I'm able to save $300. Which is better? Now you might look at it and you might say, well, hey, I want to get paid more. But if you're getting paid more and you're saving less, and you get paid less, but you're saving more, even though your revenue has gone down, what you're making, but your profits have gone up. And in the end, that's really the bottom line with a lot of business. If your profits is going up, you know what I'm saying, then you have more money to do the things you need to do because your profits are increasing. Even though you may not be making as much, but if you can increase your profits to make more than you did when you were making more, I mean, that to me is genius, you know. And people are not really giving her a lot of credit in that way. They're just saying, well, you know, profits are down. Profits are up, but your revenue is down. And it's like, yeah, that might be so, but if my profits are higher, then that's really what's of concern in my book. I mean, if I'm able to save more, yes, I might get paid less money, but if I get paid less and I'm able to save more, that's a testament to how I'm financing and running my budget to be able to get paid less and still save more. You see, and even though the profits raised was exceeded expectations, it raised, I think, 36%, something like that. They're saying that, you know, people still don't, they still don't give Marissa Mayer, I think, the credit, you know, she deserves, because she's only been at Yahoo for 9 months, thereabout, and Yahoo stock is already up more than 50%, you know, than it was before. They still retain a 20% stake in a Chinese internet company, and Alibaba, the name of the internet company, has signaled that it is prepared for an initial public offering. The analysis would predict could value at $55 billion, more than 5 times more than the Yahoo's 26.2 billion market capitalization. So we see that, I mean, Yahoo has some good stock around them, and even though their net income for the first quarter rose 36%, and that's their net income. That's not the gross. That's the net. After everything, that's the profit they made. And so when you look at what she has been doing, I think Marissa Mayer really has done a good job, you know, for Yahoo. You know, I mean, Yahoo lost position to Facebook and Google in 2011. But in the first quarter, Yahoo's display ad business, it fell 11%. You know, but they're turning that around. That was in 2011. They're starting to turn that around. And what Meyer told analysts on Tuesday, she said that she planned to lure back advertisers, you know, that Facebook and Google took away. She planned to lure back advertisers by starting what she calls a chain reaction that begins with hiring the appropriate engineers to improve Yahoo's core products, which include email, you know, Yahoo Mail, email, sports, finance offerings, and optimize them for Yahoo's mobile and tablet users. You see, so these are some of the things that she is saying she has to start doing before you can see those long-term results. She has to get the appropriate engineers in there, you know what I'm saying, so that they can create those products for the people out there. Now, without its own mobile hardware, browser, or social platform, Yahoo, you know, they're based in Sunnyvale, California, so they have a long way to go when it comes to mobile, because they don't really have their own, you know, products in that way. I mean, they have, we all know of Yahoo Search, yes, but that's for desktop. We're talking mobile. So if Yahoo wants to break into mobile, I mean, they don't have their own hardware. They don't have a phone. They don't have tablets, you know, like Google has Nexus 7 and stuff like that. They don't have a mobile browser, you know, and they don't have a social platform that they themselves. But Maya said that she plans to quickly develop a mobile presence through smaller scale acquisitions of mobile app companies. She has acquired 6 startup companies since joining Yahoo, and we talk right here about Somebody being one of those. and she also put those engineers to work making Yahoo web products more applicable to mobile users. And Yahoo now has more than 300 million monthly mobile users, up from 200 million just 3 short months ago. So what I'm trying to say is that Maya is doing things that will help Yahoo to grow. So I don't know why people, constantly just try to make it look like she's not doing anything, or her involvement in Yahoo. Matter of fact, she's been there for 9 months, and right away, that's an improvement, because CEOs couldn't stay at Yahoo more than 2 months. 2 months, something happened. Either they stepped down, or saying they found out something weird about him, or something like that. So this is something that, in my opinion, Meyer is doing. Definitely, she's doing a good job. Being there for 9 months, clearly the board of directors at Yahoo is seeing that she is valuable to the team, and that she is making strides that other CEOs weren't making. So it's going to be an interesting ride to see how well Myers does in the upcoming time. So we're still waiting for Devon to get that thing going. But we're gonna do one more story, and if Devon doesn't get it thing going for tomorrow, we definitely are gonna have this. We're definitely gonna have this thing up and running and ready to go, so that everyone can see that this is, whether it's something that we should do or something that we really should just forget about. And Cool Tech. One of the things I wanted to bring before we sign out for today is that for those of us that when we talk about Whovians, for those of us that like Doctor Who, like me, we're called Whovians, obviously, just like Trekkies and all that, and I'm also a Trekkie. For those of us that like Doctor Who, and you always wanted your own sonic screwdriver, there's a TV remote out that is the Doctor Who sonic screwdriver. You can buy this thing, and you can buy this thing and use it. It says that you can use this thing like a magic wand. This thing lets you control what's on TV using a variety of gestures like rotating, drawing an X, tapping, and more. Whether you're changing channels, increasing the volume, or bringing the TV viewing experience, viewing in your household to an abrupt halt, you can do all of that through hand gestures and the infrared sensors. And it's a universal programmable remote too, so you can employ it to summon other electronics, in your home, DVD player, Blu-ray player, speaker systems, and stuff like that. It comes with 13 gestures and 3 memory banks, allowing you to store up to 39 different actions you can perform merely by waving the stick, just like you see in Doctor Who. Each gesture comes with its own familiar sonic screwdriver sound. So you'll really feel like you're wielding this sonic screwdriver just like Doctor Who. I mean, this is just something cool. If you guys want to check this out, it's 10.8 by 3 by 2.2 inches. So it's not that big. It's basically just like the sonic screwdriver and Doctor Who, and it's you can pre-order it. I think ThinkGeek. That's a website, thinkgeek.com. They have it on pre-order right now. This is not something you can go into stores and get. This is something you have to pre-order at thinkgeek.com, and they have it pre-ordered for $99. Let me go ahead and show you guys, because you probably wonder, well, what does it look like? Is it look like the real sonic screwdriver? Well, yup, it does. So let me just show you this real quick. There we go. So there it is. It fits into a pocket right there. Here it is in the case that it comes in, and right there, that's the bad boy right there. That's the bad boy, the Doctor Who sonic screwdriver programmable TV remote, and with different gestures and so forth, and it has the sounds, you know what I'm saying, just like Doctor Who. For those of us that are Whovians, I mean, we're going to enjoy something like this, you know, waving your hand around and turning the TV channels and stuff like that.
I'm a Sherper fan.
Oh yeah, Devin is back. He's saying that Sherper, he has tested it. Right now, we only have a few minutes left on the show, but we're going to let Devin just give us a brief, and we're going to give you a detailed debut of it tomorrow. But right now, we're going to just briefly, Devin, tell the fans out there how hard was it to install, what's the setup like, and what can we expect tomorrow on our full review of this Sherper app?
I tell you what, the hardest part of setting it up was the LinkedIn section, because the screen goes away.
Right.
And you don't really see what you're typing.
Right.
So that's really
a negative.
I would take a point or half a point away.
Right.
What is a 5 point out of 5
right.
Performance.
Right.
But apart from that little glitch, you know, I've tried to use, because I'm always on the road,
right.
And I've tested all of them basically.
Except for Siri.
Except for Siri.
Right.
Because I don't want to test Siri anyway.
And after finding out that Siri wasn't all it's cracked up to be.
Do you know something? I've never been able to find my wife's name using any voice recognition tool.
Right.
Never. In my address book, it asks me Mona.
Right.
Margaret. Things that don't even exist in my phone.
Not even close to where you... Right.
One shot, I was able to say Marie. It found... I said, send an SMS text.
Right.
Boom.
Boom.
Tell me what you want to send. Boom. Every word accurately.
Right.
No mistakes.
Right.
This will revolutionize the driving while texting issue.
Situation. Now,
trust me.
Do you agree with the 4.5 out of 5 star rating that it got in Europe?
I think it's a little low. I think 4.92, 4.95 is really where it should go.
At? So
maybe, let me tell you this, maybe it's me reacting to the past.
Right.
And so excited about the future.
Right.
But I'm telling you, this thing is really accurate.
So what would you tell the folks, free app, would you tell them to go out and try it?
If you don't have it yet, you're the problem.
It's not the app.
No, it's not the app. Get it now.
So there you have it.
Really, really cool.
Right here on
really
Tech
cool.
Pulse. We came up with this story right here. Devin was able to check it out immediately and see that. And this is what it's all about. This is what we're trying to bring to the community. Some of the things you may discover right here and you learn, and you go right out and put it into action and do it, and it works for you. It doesn't work. This is why we're telling you. Call us, you know what I'm saying, in on or join our chat room. Send us an email. You know, Devin, what's the numbers they can reach us at? And
the number to call in is 954-323-8355. I'll do it slower. 954-323-8355. You can also join in the chat room right on the screen of the TV station, of the TV studio, or the TV player
of
MyOccasionsLive. That's MyOccasionsLive.com. That's MyOccasionsLive. Or you might type in MOL1 .TV, and it will bring you to the screen. And right below, you can see the chat room. Join in. And it's fun.
Yep, there you go. So we want to thank everyone for joining us here on Tech Pulse. I mean, you know, we learned a lot of different things. You know, a lot of different stuff came up. We hope that you will join us tomorrow as we talk about yet again other tech news going on in the tech world. We're going to bring you the top. You know what I'm saying? We're always going to bring you the top news stories. You know what's going on right here on Tech Pulse. We want to thank you for joining us. My name is Martin Reginald Smith the second. We'll see you tomorrow. for joining us. Peace.